Hello and welcome. I just thought I'd drop a quick introductory video. I'm Sarah Jane Critchley. I'm an author, speaker, consultant, and coach, and you're here because you're possibly interested in doing some coaching. So I thought it might be really useful for you to get a bit of an idea of who I am, how I work, and how it would work for you. So I'm an autistic woman, married to an autistic man, living in an all autistic household. I have two adult autistic children, and we are rocking it. We're living in a family where autism is accepted and we love being ourselves. Does that mean that we don't ever find anything difficult? No, of course not. Of course not. There are lots of things that have been really difficult, and we've experienced lots of our challenges ourselves. My kids have had time out of school, they've really struggled on and off, and they are now adult and doing pretty well, doing pretty well. So I'm an author. I wrote A Different Joy, The Parent's Guide to Living Better with Autism, Dyslexia, ADHD, and more, because we are all interesting combinations and packages that are made up of all of the experiences that we had, the way that our brain works, the experiences we've had, the trauma we've received, how we were brought up, what we're exposed to, how we live, what opportunities we have, what levels of privilege we may have. And all of those things come together to mean how we experience the world. And what I'm interested in working with you for in terms of coaching is how to help you to navigate that complicated world of neurodiversity and how you can bring the best version of you to meet a world that doesn't always understand you. So what are my particular areas of interest? I'm an autistic woman, late identified, and I'm particularly interested in autistic girls and women. And I was a person who wrote one of the chapters in the Girls and Autism book with Professor Barry Carpenter and Francesca Happe and Joe Edgerton. And my daughter Beth and I have also written together a chapter in Education and Girls on the Autism Spectrum with Caroline Bond and Judith Hebron. So I've been around for a while. I was also spent 10 years as the program manager of the Autism Education Trust, where I worked with schools and people in schools to help support autistic young people better. So that was people in early years schools and post-16 settings. And then I left there about 7 or 8 years ago now, a while ago, to be able to work directly with people, to be able to work directly with families who had autistic children and weren't sure how to take the next step, were really struggling with a particular thing and wanted help navigating how that works, to take you to the next level of who you can be, to be able to settle and understand and love who you are more, whilst accepting that there are still things that are going to be really, really difficult, but knowing how to navigate those, how to work through those. So, since leaving the Autism Education Trust, I've worked as a coach for about the last 5 years now, predominantly with autistic people or families, and families. I don't generally work directly with children. People are 16 is my really cut off. People have to be over 16 to be able to engage with the sort of way that I work. How it works, okay? So we would meet normally over Zoom like this. So we would meet, you be in one part of the screen, I'd be in another part of the screen. I usually record our meetings. That's because most of my clients like to be able to go back and look over things. And I record it with a transcriber. So that's a technological transcriber that gives you a summary of what we've agreed, what we've talked about, what came up, along with a full recording of the session that only you and I ever get to see. Nobody else ever gets to see that. The way that the sessions work is that we meet for an hour. And normally that will be an hour once a week, same time, same place, ideally, although we can change that if it suits both of us. And then you get the recording at the end of the session, so you can go back over it and you can remind yourself, because I don't know if you're anything like me, I often kind of have this blinding flash of inspiration. I say something, I don't realize always what I'm thinking until I say it out loud to another human. So sometimes it can be really useful to be able to go back over that again, or even to play it back slower, so that you've got time to process and think through some of the things that we've talked about. The sessions always follow the same format. Autistic woman here, I like a format. So when we meet, we will always start with what went well. So it'll be 1, 2, or 3 things. What went well since we spoke last time? And the reason for that is that our lives can be really challenging. The environment doesn't always meet our needs. We can struggle to find the support we need for our families or for ourselves. And it can be deeply, deeply difficult. But when you train yourself to notice the things that are also going well, it has a really positive effect on your ability to be able to be in charge and have agency for your own life, to be able to be in charge of the thing that you're driving. So that's why we do that, to capture and to start recognizing and reflecting those things that went well. And they don't have to be big things. They don't have to be all of a sudden you've changed a massive thing in your life and all of a sudden everything in the garden is wonderful, because actually life's not like that, is it? Sometimes it's just, I'm sitting here and I've got a really nice cup of coffee and it feels warm in my hands. And I can smell the coffee. And I love that. It's a sensory joy for me. Coffee is a sensory joy for me. That could be a simple thing. You had 2 minutes to do that quietly with yourself. How wonderful was that? It could be you were able to talk to somebody else about a family member or about your child or about you and something you need. And maybe they listened for the first time. How wonderful is that? So it could be anything. You get a chance to share those. And then in our first session, we will always agree the 1, 2, or 3 things that are really important for you to achieve. So this is not counseling. Coaching is not counseling. It is very practical. It is very tactical. And each week we will go back to work on specifically 1, 2, or 3 of those things. Now, I've got a whole host of different tools, and depending on the things that are important to you, I will use different tools to be able to work out what's going to get us towards the thing that you want to achieve most, your aim, your goal, not somebody else's aim or goal, but your aim and your goal for yourself and your family and your life. And then at the end of each session, I give you a mission. Like Mission Impossible. Do 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 do. Sorry, there is a risk I may sing at you. I do like singing. I'll try not to if you find it difficult. And those missions, there will be 1 of 2 missions. The first mission is usually a well-being mission, something you can do that works for you and makes you feel better. Okay, so it'll be something to take care of you, because often we forget. And the other mission will usually be something that will take you specifically in the direction of your goal. Now, nothing we do is ever compulsory. If you don't want to do it, it doesn't feel appropriate, you don't think it's right for you, don't do it. Never, ever do that. But it will usually be something that you've come up with, that we've agreed in the session, that you want to work towards. And then in the next session, we come back and say, how did that go? If it didn't work, how can we tweak it? Is there something else that we want to do? If it worked brilliantly, that can be one of your 3 things that went well. So that's how it works. Normally meet for 6 sessions, usually 1 a week. We can spread that out to be every other week if that's better for you. I've got loads of different payment options, which I can go through with you if you want. But that's just to give you a bit of guidance. If you think we'd be a great fit, then please drop me an email to sarahjane@differentjoy.com, SARAH-JANE@differentjoy.com. And it's on every page on this website, so you'll find it really easy to find. Click through, say, hi, Sarah Jane, love to make an appointment, and we'll sort all of that out. Can't wait to work with you. It's so exciting. I'm really excited and I love working with people. It's just one of the joys of my life. So can't wait to see you. See you on the other side. Click the button below to say that says email me now. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.